Major life transitions, like a serious medical diagnosis or a high-stakes career pivot, often feel like navigating a dense fog of uncertainty. You are moving forward, but you can't see the obstacles or the destination. When the stakes are high, we usually fall back on logic. We gather data and build exhaustive pro and con lists, trying to calculate which path offers the most safety. This gridlock happens when the options are too balanced to distinguish. Option A is logical and safe. Option B is risky but feels right. When you tally them up, you end up with a perfectly tied score. Spreadsheets fail here because you're trying to quantify a future you haven't lived yet. You cannot calculate the success of a choice when the variables change every day. Trying to guarantee a specific outcome keeps you paralyzed. To break the tie, you have to stop looking at the data and start looking at a different metric. That metric is the path of least regret. It is a structure or framework designed to evaluate choices when logic hits a wall. Instead of trying to guarantee external success, you shift your goal toward internal alignment. You ask, which choice protects your peace of mind, regardless of how the world reacts? This requires a specific trade-off. You must prioritize your own honesty over the expectations of your peers, your industry, or your family. This framework focuses on the scenario where things go wrong. You aren't picking the correct path, you're choosing the path you can live with if the outcome is difficult. By accepting that failure is possible, you gain a sense of internal steadiness. Your decision is no longer tied to a fluctuating outcome, but to your own core values. To find that steadiness, we put your options through a strategic showdown. The first step is the honesty filter. This filter identifies your personal baseline, what you actually value. It separates the path of personal alignment from external expectations. This requires a direct question. What am I actually solving for? You have to identify the truth you already know before you layer on the opinions of others. The trade-off is the loss of comfort. You can no longer hide behind what your boss or your social circle defines as a successful life. Take your two tied options right now and look at them through this lens. Which one is based on your own needs, and which is based on a performance for others? Without this initial honesty, you risk achieving goals that look impressive to the world, but leave you with no sense of satisfaction. Once you have your baseline, the surviving paths enter the secondary node, the peace metric. Here, you compare two specific regrets. You ask, which choice will maximize my peace of mind, acting now or choosing not to act? This metric quiets the noise of uncertainty. It identifies which path aligns with your internal capacity for regret, giving you a clear answer even when the data is messy. However, the path of least regret is rarely the path of least resistance. It usually asks for something difficult. Choosing peace might mean quitting a stable job, risking your income, or having a confrontation to set a necessary boundary. This framework forces you to accept short-term logistical stress. You are intentionally trading current friction for long-term emotional stability. Peace of mind is earned by choosing the harder path when it is the only one that aligns with your values. The final stage is the action catalyst. In the diagram, the final node fragments into a series of small incremental dots. These dots represent the small steps that build momentum. Clarity doesn't come from a single grand declaration. It comes from the work of daily execution. When those steps feel difficult, use the well at least technique. Remind yourself of what remains intact. Well, at least I have support. Or, well, at least I caught this early. This builds resilience for the journey ahead. To succeed here, you must give up the idea that there is a perfect time to start. Waiting for certainty is just another way to choose regret. Immediate micro-actions are the only way to escape decision gridlock. By moving, you turn the framework from a theory into a lived experience. This quadrant chart shows where this evaluation tool is most effective. Impact is on the horizontal axis, and ambiguity is on the vertical. The framework is designed for the upper right quadrant, high-stakes, ambiguous transitions where you cannot predict the future with data alone. Avoid using this for low-stakes choices or purely financial problems. If you're buying a car or picking software, the data is available and should be used. Applying this level of emotional scrutiny to simple logistical problems will lead to unnecessary exhaustion. Save the regret minimization metric for moments when a spreadsheet lacks the qualitative information to give you an answer. This framework serves as a map for navigating uncertainty. It won't eliminate your doubt or ensure that every step is easy. It allows you to own your decision process. It provides a consistent direction when the path ahead of you is dark. Think of one area of your life where you are ready to show up differently, one area where you've been waiting for a sign. Apply the regret test to that specific situation. Identify the path that honors your peace of mind and take one small step toward it today. Alignment is a daily practice. While movement doesn't guarantee a perfect result, clarity often develops as a result of moving forward.